Hey, girlfriend, you know who you are. You have big, big dreams. You want to write a book, stand on a TED Talk stage, be a life coach offering wisdom from your RV in Montana, a cafe in Barcelona, or a beach chair in Tulum. Your other girlfriends and your family, they don't always get your biz savvy. Why do you want to leave your JOB? Because you're a C.A.T.S, aka coach, author, thought leader, and speaker. Meet other change makers like yourself and find out how they make it happen. This is the Big Meow podcast.
All right, cats, let's jump in. I'm Kristen, and I'm here with Dr. Paula. Hi, Dr. Paula.
Hello, hello. How are you?
I'm excellent. Thank you so much for being here with us today. You know, you have a really unique angle about helping single women, and I think I read this correctly, about just marrying your purpose. What does it mean to marry your purpose?
Yes. For me, I had the I guess the honor, now I can say the honor of being a 49-year-old virgin. So I had a lot of years of being single. Not that I didn't have proposals, I did, in fact, was very close to marrying a person. But as I was in that relationship, I realized he did not align with my purpose. And for me, that meant that I would not be able to fulfill my potential because he would be holding me back. So, marrying my purpose is finding a person that aligns with my values, my goals, my beliefs, and basically my direction in life. So, that's what I mean by that.
So, Dr. Paula, I think that takes a lot of self-awareness. I mean, so how do we know, especially if we're at different stages of our lives, like what is our purpose? What are our goals? What is best for us? I mean, do you have like a set of questions you ask yourself to figure that out? Did you pray about it? I mean, how did you figure this out?
I definitely did. I have a relationship with Christ, so my faith is very strong and it leads and guides me. So it was a series of things. Yes, I took surveys. It was a lot of reflection on my life and the things that had occurred and how I responded, why things weren't going the way I just assumed that they would as a teenager. But I early on, I shouldn't say early on, I should say early in my 40s, because I didn't get married till I was 49. Early in my 40s, a principal came to me. Um, I was reading one day and praying, and this concept came to me of being able to step into my life fully because I don't think I was really living life. I was waiting for that person to come along rather than enjoying where I was, doing all that I could, being all that I could. And once I did that, it seemed to shift things in my life. So I refer to that principle as STEP, which is an acronym for showing self-love, trusting in a higher power. And as I said, for me, that's Jesus, enriching others, and pursuing my purpose. So each of the letters in STEP recommends a position or posture in life to view life. And for me, that has just helped me tremendously to turn my life around and to really feel like I'm making an impact on the world, you know?
You know, you said something, there's a word that stood out for me, and I think a lot of women do this, is waiting. It's like we're waiting for the right partner. We're
Yes.
waiting for our life to happen, like as if we need some other person to be able to like live your life. And I think that waiting, you know, you can wait a long time. I mean, you can wait months, you could wait years, you could wait your whole life. And there is clearly a cost to waiting.
But I think there's also a cost for rushing ahead
Yes.
and taking on something that should never be yours. I can't tell you. My background is an educator. I was in education, K-12 education over 30 years, and at the college level, just 3 or 4 years. But I've dealt with people at every stage, and to see the fallout, especially on children, of bad decisions by the adults. And that was one thing I never wanted to do. I've never birthed a child, But before I got married, I would always say I was the mother of none, yet mother to all. Because I was the type of person, if I saw children fighting on the street, I'd pull over the car, break them up, go get your mother. So that's just how I was. So for me, someone not waiting and trying to do something on their own, I've only seen chaos, destruction, a lot of heartache and pain from rushing ahead. So when I work with women and I specialize in single women, single Christian, or I say saved women that want to attract and marry that purpose partner, that's one of the things we delve into. And what is it about your life that won't allow you to wait? What are you trying to fill by that person? And I would often say to them, I've always been a big fan of romantic comedies, but we can't buy what they say because unlike what Jerry Maguire said, nobody can complete us. That's work we need to do from the inside out.
You are listening to the Big Meow podcast, empowering women entrepreneurs to share their voices, make an impact, and transform the world in a positive way. Sponsored by Orange Cat Content Marketing Agency. Wow, these are powerful questions. And I think that, we also, as women, bring our own set of experience, wounds, setbacks, proclivities to relationships. And are we also a good partner too? It's like, I think that there's always work that we can be doing on ourselves.
Yes,
and
definitely.
Gaining more awareness and understanding. I do feel like that just leads to greater personal happiness.
Totally. I totally agree. And that's the principle by which I live my life. And I'm so grateful that I did. I'm not going to say there weren't times when I was like, okay, Lord, where is he? But once I really settled into that principle, I really enjoyed my life. I traveled, I got my doctorate, I debt free, did all the things. So whether it happened or not, I knew I could live life on my terms and really enjoy it.
So if someone came along now and they were the perfect person and asked you to marry them, would you?
Well, I am married, so I don't think my husband would think too kindly on that. I've been married for almost 13 years now. And it was so interesting. Before we got married, about almost 6 months before he saw me, I really had an epiphany that I would be married within the year. And it's so amazing when you really believe something. I really believe our words have power. I uttered that at a women's retreat that I was running, and I had a real close girlfriend that knew me really well. We worked together, we did life together, traveled, did a lot of things, and she quickly turned and said, "Oh," because she knew I wasn't seeing anybody. But I felt that so strongly that I prepared. I literally put money aside for a wedding dress. I got in shape. I went to the gym every morning. I did all the things, including going to an orthodontist, because as a child, I wore braces and didn't wear my retainers. So a gap was forming. So I believed it that strongly that I said, I need to be ready. I got to get it together.
Dr. Paula, you just threw me off with the 49-year-old virgin. So I just assumed that you weren't married. So I apologize for making that assumption.
No worries.
So
I'm
what
now
is
62?
Oh, I see now. Now I'm putting the dots together. Well, I do think that you have an amazing outlook and lots of wisdom. What's something that happened recently in your life that was a challenge, and how did you overcome it?
I think one of the recent challenges was just this whole COVID experience, just the isolation during that time. I was very blessed that I was married and, of course, was in isolation with my husband. And I'm so grateful for the technology, but I miss the hugs and all of that. And it really just allowed me to appreciate those in my circle so much more. And I think the biggest takeaway was not to wait till birthdays or to special holidays to say I love you, but to really take opportunity whenever I had it to let people know how I felt about them. Because we lost a lot of people during that time.
I know. It was so tragic. And I still think we're we're picking up the pieces and putting them back together, but in a new way. So,
Yes.
the world has definitely changed, and there's new ways being forged ahead. And I do think that there is this rise in questioning, what is my purpose? That life is much more precious and more valuable. And am I in that flow? Am I on the path of what is the purpose for me?
I totally agree. And I think once people discover what their purpose is, and there's so many ways to go about doing that, there are surveys and inventories out there that help to let us know what we're passionate about, what resonates with us. But I think once people really find what their purpose is and live within it, life is just so much more rewarding. You know that you're here and you're fulfilling your assignment.
I love that. So what's a assessment or survey that you used that you thought was very valuable? I know I agree with you. There's a lot out there, but was there one in particular that you enjoyed?
I think one of the ones that I use is the blanking on it, the personality test.
Myers-Briggs?
Myers-Briggs,
Yeah.
yes, Myers-Briggs, because it delves so deeply into what resonates with you, the types of things, the type of energy, all of that you utilize. And it really helps you to say, okay, so that's why I like doing this, or that's why I don't like doing that. And I think that helps to narrow down, and it helps to open your mind to think about the possibilities of what you could be doing that will help to make not just your life, but those around you even better.
Yeah, I think we're all very complex and we have a lot of strengths. And maybe we haven't always put ourselves in the position where we could really shine. And so having these kinds of assessments and tools can be very powerful, especially if you're going through this process where you're trying to figure out what's next, or, how to redesign something. Maybe you have some latent talents and gifts that you weren't using that now you're ready. You feel like you're in a better place to bring them forward.
I totally agree. Totally agree.
So Dr. Paula, thank you so much for being with us. I really appreciate it. Where can we find you?
The best way to find me is right on my website. You can actually get to all of my social media from my website. So my website is my name, drpaulacperez.com, drpaulacperez.com. And that's the handle for everything that I have. So
Wonderful.
Dr. Paula C. Perez.
Dr. Paula, thank you
Yes.
so much for being on the
Thank
Big Meow.
you. Appreciate the top opportunity.
Are you looking for authentic connections, business mentorship, and a supportive community? Join C.A.T.S Network. Thank you for listening to the Big Meow podcast. Please subscribe, give us a 5-star review, and share this episode with your community.